Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And I just got home not too long ago, and I had a little bit of a break between going from one job to the next today. And I was watching COD Champs and I was watching Optic play, and so far they're doing very, very well. Shout out to them, and best of luck to them and to all the other competitors, actually. Hope they do very, very well. I would like to see them win, but hey, whoever wins, hey, may the best team win, right? But while I was watching, the very big question just suddenly came to mind, because every once in a while, I think a lot about the videos that I watch and some of the videos that I've seen other content creators post. And I remember not too long ago that 8 Thoughts posted a very brief video. I don't know if it was one of the videos that was taken down. I don't know if it was just one of those brief Twitter videos or whatever it was, but I just saw it over Twitter very briefly. It was like a 3-minute video or something like that. And he was basically talking about how he realized that, well, COD has just become competitive, and it's just something that, you're just going to have to deal with, and it's just the way the cookie crumbles, or something of that nature, something like that. And the thing is, the question came to mind, why has exactly COD become so competitive? And it really just, after I thought about it for a little bit, it really just hit me like a freight truck. And sometimes people will say, well, Jack, it just seems that COD is really competitive, but it's not that competitive. That's just a skill-based matchmaking of whatever flavor of COD that decides to have it for more or less. I mean, I don't think so. I no longer think that for the majority anymore, especially ever since thinking about this, and I'll explain why. Sure, there's a team balancing algorithm. There's no doubt about that. Like, eventually, the system or the algorithm or whatever the hell it is, calculates whoever it believes is the best player in the lobby is going to place more bad players on his or her team to kind of balance out the lobby, so that way it seems more balanced, so that way less players are, let's say, so that way less players are aggravated by getting their asses handed to them. Back in the day, I don't think it existed to this extent. When we're talking back in the day of, I don't know, pre-Black Ops 2 or pre Advanced Warfare. And the reason why I chose to show this gameplay off is because this game was definitely, I don't know what the word is, notorious, infamous, famous, I don't know, for its skill-based matchmaking during its life cycle. And the thing is that, well, the team balancing algorithm, I think, is the majority of the problem. But with that being said, I know it really is very clear as to why COD has become so competitive lately. And it doesn't matter whether you're an aspiring competitive player or not. The thing is this. Why do you do what you do? What motivates you to do what you do, right? You want to be successful at it, right? And I know that money isn't everything in life, but I'll tell you what, it can sure as hell solve most of the problems that you can ever have in your life. There's no doubt about it. Granted, I mean, let's put it this way. There's very few problems that money can't solve. I mean, for instance, why do I sacrifice consistent sleep and me time away from home, and more hours of work, anywhere from 50 to 60, usually averaging in the mid-50s per week for months and months at a time? Why in the hell do I do that to myself? And the reason is so that way I could be more successful, and so that way I could have more money in my pocket. So that way, in case anything happens, or let's say I want to accomplish a certain goal, whether it's to just have more money saved, or whether it's to save for college, or whether it's to basically pay off all my debt, pay off the car, whatever the hell it is, that's the reason why I do what I do. That's why I make the sacrifices that I make. And the same exact thing has become of COD now. It is now more known than ever that being a professional and successful at that Call of Duty player, or even a content creator, can net you just as much money, or if not more, way more actually, than some of the best, highest paying jobs out there. We're talking like doctors and surgeons and people that have, like, for instance, I've done a lot of research in the people in the medical field lately, because I might do something in the medical field, hopefully in the near future, something along those lines. I haven't fully decided yet, but I will be making my decision within the next year, because I actually have to stay ahead, because I'd probably have to be put on a waiting list, but in terms of education. But with that being said, some of these people that I have basically gotten to know over the last couple of years, and even more so now, especially since I'm kind of in the organization working for a different part of it, the thing is that, like, these people, and I've researched it myself, these people have gone through stupid amount of years of school to make, let's say, a salary of anywhere from $300,000 a year to $500,000 a year. And the fact that you can make close to that much, or even more, like, for instance, Ninja, for instance, you know, he's proven that you can make a shit ton more than that by playing video games or becoming a successful content creator. All of a sudden motivates people to all of a sudden become better at a game by learning how to play it better through YouTube and investing more time, making more investments, and getting, like, all the equipment they need, the kind of monitors, the headsets, the controllers, the time spent put into the game, and all that kind of stuff. And another thing is that they love it. And we've all been taught since we were kids, if not sometime throughout life, we've all been taught that, well, if you're going to do something, you might as well do something that you enjoy, right? And pretty much most of us, if not all of us, enjoy playing a video game. It's simple as that. So, I mean, I think if you were to ask any one of us, whether it's you, whether it's me, it could be the most moral person, it could be the most immoral person. You ask anybody that has a love of video games, and granted, even more so, passion for video games, guess what? You ask them, hey, if you could make an X amount of money a month playing this, or playing video games, or creating content, or doing all that kind of stuff, would you do it? And the answer would be, fuck yes. Even myself, you know. Granted, it's not necessarily the primary motivator, but it is a dream, and we all chase after our dreams, especially if we enjoy that certain thing that we're going after. Like, if we enjoy putting in the time of playing video games and getting better at a game and sweating and putting all the time and all that shit, I mean, we enjoy it. Granted, half of the time it pisses us off, just like everything else does, when things don't go our way, or because we feel too much passion for a game or whatnot. We react accordingly, and it's the way it is. And every single one of us, especially for us men out there, whether you're younger or older, wherever the hell you are, we all have this thing called an ego. Some of us to a lesser extent, some of us to a more extent. Some of us take it a little bit more seriously than others, and some of us don't. But the thing is, to some degree or another, we either have or have had an ego, and a very big one at that. So when you combine all these things, of course COD has become more competitive than ever. You see young players out there that are like 15, 16 years old that are becoming professional gamers and making money by a lot. I mean, even the lower end of professional Call of Duty players get a salary of, like, let's say the lower end being $5,000 a month just to play the game. That does not include content creation and YouTube and streaming. That's just their salary, dude. And that's incredible. If I was making that much playing a video game, I wouldn't be putting in nearly as much work. I'd still put in some work just to kind of keep myself, you know, balanced, so to speak, so that way I don't lose my mind in this whole in that area of success, because sometimes you can lose your mind and you can kind of lose touch with reality, which is something you don't want to do as a human being. I think it's important to stay balanced. But when you put everything together, of course Call of Duty is competitive, and that's why people are chasing success, and especially about learning about its success rates more and more. And on top of the fact that it's a video game, and the example that it's being the example that's being put out there by the different games that are being played, by the content creators making a shit ton of money and all that kind of stuff, you name it. Of course, it's becoming more competitive than ever. And Call of Duty is one of the leading games, believe it or not, one way or another, microtransactions or not. So that is exactly why Call of Duty has become as competitive as it is today. It's because of the motivating factor, and that is success. And success is in the form of money, and it solves a hell of a high percentage of our problems that most of us face on a daily basis. And the more money you have, the less problems you have, and the more freedom you have, and the more time you have, and the more goals you get to accomplish, and the better of a life you get to live, and the more potential of things that you're able to do. So yeah, so that is my video as to why Call of Duty has become so competitive. So anyway, guys, that's all for this one. I've already gone over time. So in terms of what you think of this video and what your opinions are, let me know down in the comment section. I'm always interested in your feedback. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.